People seem to be always looking for affordable alternatives to their favorite home gym machines, and I think we may have finally found another solid cardio option for rowing. This is the Merach NovaRow R50 air rower, and it's pretty much a spitting image of the tried and true Concept 2 rower, although this has some additional features and even improvements that make it unique. This rower features 10 different selectable air resistance levels, dedicated app connectivity, a very comfortable ergonomic and soft yet supportive seat, a year-long warranty, all coupled with the best part that this machine is essentially half the price as that name brand Concept 2. But just how well exactly does it work, and what do you need to know before buying this machine? Let's check it out. Hey guys, this is Michael with the Jungle Gym Reviews. Today we're reviewing the Merach NovaRow R50 air resistance rower, which after releasing this to review, to my knowledge may currently be the best budget Concept 2 alternative that exists today. In this video, I'll talk to you about some of the things I like, some of the things I don't like, and show you how exactly it compares to the Concept 2 side by side in terms of look, feel, and overall functionality. Before I get into the review, if you could quickly hit that subscribe button below if you haven't already, it will continue to help us grow the channel. Make sure you get notified when we post our weekly review videos throughout the rest of 2025. And if you're interested in purchasing this rower after the review, please check out the affiliate link and the 25% discount code in the description below. But please watch the entire video to hear all of my feedback prior to considering a purchase. So the first thing to note about this Merach air rower is why we are all very interested, and that is the enticing price. At the time of filming the review, the price on their website is $639, but with that coupon code I mentioned earlier, brings your total to about $500 out the door, including tax and free shipping. So $500 for a machine with a 1-year warranty and the ability to add on a second year just by registering for a free account on their website. At face value, it seems like a really great deal, especially on paper, and especially considering how well it works side by side to the Concept 2. Comparing it side by side to the Concept 2, it looks and pretty much feels about 95% the same. During the process of testing this machine for review, I often would quickly switch back and forth between the two machines, going fast, going slow, trying all the different training modes, and pretty much just jot down everything I could notice. After all my time doing so, really in the end, the biggest functional difference that I noticed is that during the eccentric portion of the rowing movement, so after you've pulled the handle to your chest and the chain starts to retract back, on the Concept 2, it's just the slightest bit more smooth compared to the Merach. But honestly, the difference is so close that I can literally only notice that at very slow rowing speeds and forces, and only when rowing about 10 strokes on one machine and immediately hopping straight onto the other. I think in a blind test for the overall rowing feel between the two, the only thing you would notice otherwise is that the Merach handle transfers a little more chain vibration through the handle as well, but that could take almost all my friends, family, have them use both, and they honestly wouldn't know which one was which, so that's definitely a compliment to the Merach and exactly what they were going for. The other main differences are obviously the color scheme, the seat on the Merach being actually much more comfortable and padded than the Concept 2, and the foot straps on the Merach are much faster and more comfortable to tighten and loosen with a Velcro strap compared to that very utilitarian, thin style foot loops on the Concept 2. The display monitor for this rower also is very similar, and for all intents and purposes, they display the same metrics, presented in just different styles and layout. You have the ability to do free row, do intervals and time split of your choosing, or just row to a set distance as desired on either. Overall, side by side, all the angles and dimensions, heights, lengths are nearly all identical in shape or form, with just some different quality of life options chosen by Merach. So the seat is the biggest noticeable difference between the two, and the Merach R50 specifically boasts the better comfort level. I actually remember when I bought my first Concept 2 years ago, after the first few uses, I immediately bought a seat pad on Amazon because it became increasingly uncomfortable to use frequently and really for any extended period of time. Although I'm sure competitive or hardcore rowers, there's a reason for the hard seat due to like a force transfer or more mimicking a real-world rowing scenario. I assume a majority of users, just like me, actually want something that's comfortable, and Merach has fixed this problem by maintaining the same size and shape and general material of the Concept 2 seat, basically just by adding what seems to be an additional inch or two of very soft yet supportive padding into their seat mold, so it feels great right out of the box. Speaking to the monitors, the Merach is okay, and it lists all the basic metrics you need like time elapsed, distance, time per distance, number of rowing strokes, strokes per minute, wattage/power output, estimated calories burned, and even your pulse. How the monitor gets your pulse is the same way the Concept 2, Rogue Echo Bike, Assault Rower, etc. do, which is through this ANT Plus heart rate monitor. The one I have is the Polar T31 chest strap, which I'll link in the description below. And all you do is put it on your chest, just start using whatever machine you want, and the strap automatically transmits and connects to the rower, unlike a Bluetooth where you have to pair the devices directly. This ANT Plus technology isn't unique to the Merach, it's just the type of wireless technology used in fitness machines, among others, that can communicate easily and interchangeably with different devices. So just know if you have an ANT Plus strap or a watch that's ANT Plus compatible, like a Garmin, you can use this with this Merach R50 too. The other thing I wanted to note about the Merach monitor is it doesn't seem to be backlit like the Concept 2 is. I haven't found that personally to be an issue, but if you're using it outside or somewhere where it's really bright or there's glare or bright ambient lighting, you may find you would prefer a backlit option, but I can't imagine that in itself being a deal breaker for most people. The Merach monitor does also have this little phone holder lip where you can watch something on your phone or tablet while rowing. The monitor modes itself, other than the default free row mode from when you hop on, are interval mode, which you can set a time interval of different increments, like 15 seconds on, 30 rest, or something similar for a set amount of rounds, and it will beep at you when to start and stop and rest. The other mode you can do is do the set distance mode, which you just set a target distance and get on and row, and eventually it beeps when you reach it. Moving down the machine, the handles on the Merach have a little more grip than the Concept 2, and whether that's good or bad is probably just really in the eyes of the user. It has the right handle shape, diameter, and the angles that are all nearly identical to the Concept 2, and it just feels good, comfortable, and durable for plenty of years of use. The other thing I like on the Merach are the foot straps, because the straps themselves are thicker, so it comfortably holds your foot firmly in the foot slot. The straps are Velcro and they have a D-ring at the end, so you can quickly tighten it down and unlatch them with precision, and overall they just feel very comfortable and secure. The foot height adjustments, up and down, have plenty of options and just do what they're supposed to do, although I did notice the heel plate on the Merach R50 is slightly taller, a little more stiff, a little more rigid compared to the Concept 2. I don't know how well I'll be able to articulate this, but the heel portion of the foot holder just seems a bit too high, and there's some square edges where the cutout for your heels are. So occasionally I can feel that foot holder catching on the heel of my shoes, especially when you're at the bottom of the row, when your heels start to lift up naturally. It doesn't hurt and it's not uncomfortable. It's just what I consider a minor annoyance because I can feel and hear the click of that little plastic lip catching on my shoe heel. To be fair to Merach though, if I changed shoes that had a different length sole or heel plate size, I think this issue would go away completely. But here in my specific Noble training shoes, it rubs and it catches just a little bit. Also to my knowledge, both rowers tell you explicitly not to stand them up for storage because they can be in danger of falling over. But I know that's how many people in many CrossFit gyms tend to store them when not in use. And as I'll show you here, you definitely can. And they both stand upright, the exact same for both machines. Just know again, both companies tell you not to do this, so do so at your own risk. I will say though, the upright storage, you can save yourself some space and it just looks cool. Speaking to the storage, both of these machines also feature that same center bar disconnect so you can lift up on the latch and it comes apart easily in half to be able to transport or store if needed. The other feature the Merach R50 offers is Bluetooth connectivity to their Merach app, which they did let me try as part of my review on this machine. The app gives you more insight and consolidated historical data about your past in-app workouts. Also features different modes for their rowers, including a map mode where you basically are a little dot on some Google Maps overlay, and you can see your little dot and blip row down a river or something similar based on how hard and fast you're using it in the real world. And it compares you to other users who are also doing it live in real time. So if you've ever done Zwift for running or cycling, it's basically the same online live interactive user race and leaderboard concept. There's also a virtual video mode, which just shows some slow, scenic shots of whatever body of water you choose so you can visualize that lake or river or whatever you're rowing on as you go to see your main metrics overlaid on the screen. Overall, it's a simple app, but it's effective, and you don't have to go on YouTube then searching for virtual rowing follow-along videos or something to keep yourself visually stimulated during longer sessions. I also quickly wanted to mention the main specs of this machine are pretty much the exact same as the Concept 2 as far as overall length, both at 95 inches, width at about 24 inches, and seat height between 14 and 15 inches. Both have monitors and monitor arms that can be folded back when not in use, and 10 damper settings on the flywheel shroud, which you can select that correspond to the 10 different levels of resistance. As far as maintenance, I haven't had to do any, but I would treat it the same as any previous rowers I've owned, where you basically lubricate the chain every 50 hours or every X months intervals or so, wipe down the seat rail at the same time with some multi-surface cleaner. Rowers in general are great for maintenance because honestly they're super durable, easy to clean, maintain, and store. Since there's no plugs to power it, you just have to change the batteries for the monitor occasionally when that dies, so they're virtually maintenance-free for an extended period of time. So overall, I've been really impressed with the Merach NovaRow R50 air rower, and I was really happy how well it works side by side with the Concept 2, since I think for all intents and purposes, that's clearly exactly what they're going for with this machine. Everything you can get in the Concept 2 with a more comfortable seat for about half the price, and I will honestly definitely be recommending this for the time being as my go-to rower in the price range and probably just overall for the value. I will say though, the jury is still out on long-term use because it just hasn't been around that long and battle-tested like the Concept 2. But the fact it does have a 1-year warranty covering manufacturing defects, and in general, there aren't too many things that can go wrong with rowers, is of some peace of mind, coupled again with the fact it's $500, not $1,000. Previously, I reviewed the Signature Fitness Concept 2 clone, which was a little bit cheaper at around $300, but it literally broke on me while I was actively filming the review when the machine flywheel gear snapped or the teeth fell off and it was just dead in the water. In that review, I mentioned, for the time being, the only alternative for the Concept 2, in my opinion, was, in fact, Concept 2. But now after using this new Merach R50, I can comfortably say your options are now a machine like this, or you can still search for a used Concept 2, but depending on your area, may not save a whole lot of money, and a Concept 2 might even still be $100 or $200 more, and you have to go meet with some of the, let's say, interesting people you may find on Facebook Marketplace or similar, so this definitely makes this a solid option if you're looking for a budget Concept 2 alternative. So guys, that's it for this review for the Merach NovaRow R50 air resistance rower. As always, if you have any questions, please comment down below, and I'll be happy to answer or at least try. Thank you for tuning into the Jungle Gym Reviews. We'll see you next time. Take it easy. Peace.